Hey Brandon, want to drink a Bud Light?
Only on the Sabbath. Just kidding.
So a lot of Christians debate if a Christian could drink alcohol, like not to be a drunkard, just to drink one or two. What do you think about that?
I think it's a very slippery slope that a lot of Christians take. I'm just going to catch a buzz, or I'm only going to have a couple, or I have self-control. At the end of the day, if you're not absolutely 100% willing to give it up and turn away from it, if God tells you to, it's a problem, whether it's one drink or not. Whether you're trying to justify it for health purposes because it's a glass of wine and you think it's good for your heart, or if you just like to go out with friends and have a beer with a steak, do you look different from the world if you're doing the same thing as the world? And if you are unwilling to give it up, if God were to tell you tomorrow to stop drinking, would you argue with him and not release that from your life? Because if you won't, it's idolatry and it's a problem. It's too many people justifying in their own minds and make these arguments and make these compromises in their walk, and they don't live holy and they don't live set apart for the sake of having some pleasure with a drink every now and then, and ultimately they wouldn't give it up if God asked them to. Most of these people would never go to God and say, God, do you want me to stop drinking? Because they know the answer.
So you mentioned that you're supposed to not show the public that as a Christian you're drinking. What about if you invited me over to your house to eat, and both of us are Christians and we wanted a glass of wine? Is that any different?
It's a tough line, because you have to look. You're not looking at the outward actions. You're not looking at the appearance. But where's your heart in the situation? I believe that there are people out there that don't struggle with that kind of thing. That at this point in their life, God hasn't asked them to get rid of that. But kind of like the same thing with the weed. If you're looking to those for pleasure, and really, why else would you look to those? Especially when it comes to alcohol. What can you justify keeping alcohol in your life for as a Christian?
Okay.
Can you think of anything?
Yeah.
Right? So really, if you want to analyze it and be critical about it, why would you want to keep that in your life when removing that can bring a closer and deeper walk with Christ? And a lot of people who are immature in their walk hold on to that because they're looking for joy and they're looking for contentment and pleasure in physical things, in drink and in these things. And a lot of them are like, Jesus drank, or the apostles drank, or whatever it might be. But if you're going to try to justify your actions based on the actions of someone else, then you're not really following after the direction of the Holy Spirit, because it's about what He wants you to do in your life and who's watching, right?
Did Paul drink wine?
Probably.
Yeah, he got super drunk all the time.
Hey, a spin-off question though. This came to my head. What about cigars? Can somebody smoke a cigar? My sister bought me a Cuban cigar, and I just always wanted to taste it, but it's still there. I haven't done it. Would it be complete sin to give it a puff, even though I don't smoke cigarettes no more?
It's a tough one. It's tobacco, right?
Yeah.
Why would you want to smoke it? People smoke it for enjoyment. They smoke it for the buzz. They smoke it for that feeling. And I feel like if that's your focus and that's your priority, then as a Christian you should be critical and examine what your motivation is with that. If you smoke it, is that going to send you to hell inherently? No, I don't think so. No, but I think that if you take the wrong attitude or you become addicted because of it, then you've developed a problem. And too many people lack the self-discipline to control themselves, so it would be better if they just didn't do it at all.
What about pipe?